Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. Now, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about today on day 72? And I was thinking, let's talk about one of the expressions that I got from somebody. You may have heard of this guy, Anthony Faisy. He started the Lean 7 system for getting lean and things like that. But he did one fantastically emotional, well, it was emotional for me. He was smiling the whole way through because he was saying good stuff, but I was the one that was emotional. But he was on the Dave Mack channel, and it was just like over an hour of just him, just how he talks to his clients about how to motivate them, the things that he says, what happens to him, how he became carnivore. And one of the lines that I really like, that I'm looking forward to using myself, is the one he says, "Is this the me now? I can't believe this is the me." Or he's looking in the mirror and going, "Is this the you now? This is the you?" And he's talking about how he's completely switched over from eating, treats and comfort food into being fully carnivore. Now, clearly, my from the neck down hasn't caught up with from the neck up on me. From the neck up, my brain thoughts, I'm fully carnivorous, carnivore forever, not going to stop. My mindset has completely changed. There's been some things that have changed in my life that have enabled that to happen. My family have had to make some changes to accommodate me. That might sound a little bit selfish, but I've had to really have a sit down with them and talk about things that I need them to do so that I'm more successful, because I am not having another day or another month more of being a scenic, bumpy carnivore. Those days are gone. So this goes back to is this the you now? This is the you? I can't believe this is the you. And it's basically saying, wow, I cannot believe the switch in me. I can't believe it. So long, on, off, disbelief, feeling just ridiculous, feeling like I've been left behind, to suddenly the days counting up effortlessly with the same level, even more. I'm more determined today on day 72 than I was on day 2. And I'm so excited that I'm saying day 72 and not day 2. And yesterday I was so excited to be saying day 71 and not day 1. It's way more exciting, especially if you feel like your motivation's building up, especially if you're getting to the stage where you think your body might be starting to make some changes. Is this the you now? Is this the you? For those that are new to my channel, last year I was calling my channel The Imperfect Carnivore. And the reason for that is because I didn't want the big carnivore purists to attack me, basically. This is the reason I did it. I didn't want to be attacked for having a bumpy journey. And even though I think 99% of carnivores are genuinely just cheering you on and don't care what you do, there will be that small percentage that are just going to come on the channel and attack you for saying you're a carnivore when they know full well that you had time off when you were on holiday with your son a few months ago. So I thought, call myself Imperfect Carnivore, and that keeps me out of trouble. But the downside of calling yourself that is it means you're more likely to get in trouble. So by trying to avoid being attacked by the purists, I ended up being in a bit of a brain by now identifying myself as the imperfect one. But I knew that I couldn't change into healthy until I'd made some changes in my life. To be able to say I'm doing this forever, I had to make some changes. One of them was, most of you know, I had to have a change in job because my last job was not conducive to success. I'd got myself into some horrible habits that were only going to go away when I left that job. I was constantly making trips to the staff room. At any moment that was really, really, really stressful, I would just get somebody else to look after the child I was working with and pop to the staff room for emergency sugar. I'm going to the staff room for some emergency sugar. Also, I was stopping at a supermarket on the way into work that was really easy access. And if things were going wrong for me, I would go in there and buy treats, generally the same ones every time. Not going to tell you what I got because it'll make you want it. But I had to get out of that particular commute and that particular job to sort that out. Another change. There's been lots of changes for me. Changing the name of the channel helps. Declaring, making that decision. I'm now going to be permanent carnivore. I'm changing my channel name. This is a different direction now. That's done. Another change I made was that I had to have a really good sit down with my family and explain to them, because I think it's very, very common for women of my age to be putting themselves last. And if you are a woman between 40 and 60 who has struggled with your weight, you probably can relate to what I'm about to say next. We tend to put ourselves last. If we're in the kitchen, we're catering for everyone else first, dealing with ourselves last, putting our priorities last. And that's generally seen as being a bit of an earth mother, isn't it? You're a bit of an earth mother if you put yourself last. I can think of lots of women. I'm not judging them. They're being great, great mums because they're putting their children on the top brick of the chimney priorities, which they should be. But sometimes some of these earth mothers, that I call them, are putting themselves last, and their health is suffering as a result. And it all came to a head with me when I thought, I've got to sit down with my family and we're going to talk about what needs to happen around the house so that I'm finally successful and can stop dreaming about being successful and I'm actually successful. And the thing that I think was getting me down the most, it wasn't the fact that they were having treats, because lots of people live with others that have treats. I got used to that, but it was the timing of the meals. It was are you going to come and sit with us, Mum? Are you going to come and eat with us? It took my husband a very long time to understand that for me to be successful, I've got to stop eating at the same time that they are eating. Especially during this fat adaptation stage. I'm coming home from work starving. I'm having my first meal of the day about 7:15 in the morning. And then at 4 p.m, I'm really, really, really hungry. Really hungry. Now, before I made my grand declaration to be carnivore forever, what would happen is I would come in from work and I'd do snacking. Now, snacking is very anti-fat adaptation. If you want to fat adapt, you cannot be snacking constantly. You can't be eating regularly. You have to go longer stretches. And the advice from the old carnivores was always eat till you're absolutely full, and when you're hungry, eat till you're absolutely full, and when you're hungry, and rinse and repeat. And I was always kicking myself, always hating myself because I was never doing it right. Have a smallish breakfast, have some cold meat for lunch, come in from work hungry, probably have some pork rinds and some cheese. And then I'd be beating myself up constantly because even though the foods I was eating were 0 carb, I wasn't doing it right. And that's probably why I didn't fat adapt properly and didn't get to where I want to be, and the weight didn't come off. And I kind of knew that, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to get out of that routine of eating too frequently, and it all came to a head. I just sat my family down and basically said, I want to be successful. And I know that you guys don't really believe I'm going to be successful, but probably deep down you really want me to be. So please, please, please understand that for at least the next 6 months or maybe more, you need to accept that I'm going to eat when I'm hungry and not when you think I should eat, or not when the clock says I should eat. It's going to be when I want to eat. I did another video on this actually called Don't Tell Me When to Eat. But I just thought I'd go into it again because it is actually really important to my success. There's lots of things that are happening that have created this success for myself. I've thought, right, where am I going wrong? Okay, that's not going right. What can I do about that? That's not working for me. What can I do about that? That's clearly sabotaging me. What can I do about that? You know what I mean? Just going through all of the reasons why I've stopped. Not the big main one where my mum passed away, but I'm talking about little niggles. Having to eat at the wrong times and the wrong amounts, and I think I figured it out. I think I've worked out everything that was holding me back when I was holding myself back. And my family have now got used to the fact that when they are eating, I've already eaten. I've eaten at 4, they're eating a little bit later. And I think they're just resigned to that now. There's no point trying to get me to eat with them. I'm going to eat when I want to, when it's my time. And so now I've managed to get myself in this too mad schedule that I wanted to be in. Not eating little bits throughout the day, picking on cheese, picking on pork rinds, doing this, doing that. All 0 carb carnivorous foods, but just doing it wrong. I knew I had to be on a 2 big meal schedule. That's what I was going for. Not worried about OMAD. That might never come for me. But that's fine. I'm not aiming for that. I'm aiming to do it the way that the veteran carnivores taught me years and years ago. When you feel hungry and empty, eat until you're Thanksgiving full, stop eating, get on with your life, wait till you're full, wait till you're hungry again, eat till you're Thanksgiving full. And I have followed that, and I have followed that to the letter. In the first 30 days, I was eating more than that because I still had the cravings, so I was just eating my way through them. Get past 30 days, I'm now, from day 30 to day 72, I'm now on a 2 mad schedule. One meal about 7:15 in the morning, another meal about 4. And I am loving it. And I'm loving the way that makes me feel. My ketones are now going back up again because I can taste it in my mouth. And I now think the weight's coming down. But I'm not going to weigh regularly because I don't think it's natural to get on the scales every day. I just don't. A lot of people don't mind that behaviour, but I don't think our ancient ancestors were constantly getting on the scales every day. I want to eat the way that our ancestors did as much as possible, and hopping on the scales all the time and snacking all the time isn't what we did. So that's not what I'm going to do. So this video is really about, is this the you? How is this your new? Somebody yesterday who knows that I'm doing this at work, because obviously it turned up in conversation at our sharing lunch. We had a sharing lunch, didn't we, on the first day of term? Oh, I really could have done without that, but I need to be able to go to these things and do my own thing and be fine about it. And I totally was. So it's good. But then that came up in conversation that I'm carnivore. So I really didn't want to talk to anyone about it, but it just came up. They just noticed. One person just specifically noticed because her husband was talking about it. So then it just came up then. I don't think it's very healthy that you just eat meat. Okay. That's okay. I know you don't think it's healthy. I do. So, and this is me. You do you. I'll do me. Okay. But this person asked me yesterday if I was still doing it, and am I going to still be doing it and I said, I'm doing it forever. I'm doing it forever. This is how my brain is working now. Positive thoughts. Not if I become slim. It's when I become slim. It's not if this is now the time I'm going to be a permanent carnivore. It's this is the time I'm going to be a permanent carnivore. These are all self-fulfilling prophecies, right? I'm no longer imperfect, scenic, or bumpy. I am no longer if, I'm now when. What's my short-term goal? What's my medium-term goal? What's my long-term goal? This is happening. I'm doing a minimum of 365 days. I think it's better to go for the 365-day thing than the forever thing at this stage. It's better to stay in the present, keep myself grounded in this present, because, you know, telling yourself you're literally never going to have your treat food ever again, it can be a little bit daunting, can make you feel a little bit, oh, really? Never? So staying in the present. Yesterday was good. Today's good. Tomorrow is good. I'm going to be doing it at Christmas because I know I've done it before, so it's easy. I'm going to do it on my next family holiday. I've done it before. It's easy. I'm going to do it at Halloween, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do it at Easter, so I might as well now do the whole year. I've done all those things. Let's do the whole year. I had a thought yesterday, though. Seeing as I'm just going to keep going with this. I'm not doing a video tomorrow on day 73, so I'm going to make this one a bit longer. So I'm trying to get my watch hours up. So if you want to help me out with that, stick all my videos in a playlist, set it to go, and just go and have a long shower, bath. Just don't even listen to it. Just pop it on in the background on mute, go off to work. Come back, you've done about 10 hours of Sarah content without even watching me. Oh, I'm a bit sad. I just want to get to that milestone now where I get that special email from YouTube saying, yay, you're now a YouTuber. Yesterday though, let's get back to this. Yesterday, I had a thought that I haven't had in 10 years, which lets me know I'm super positive. You're going to think this is crazy, but it doesn't matter. If I'm having these thoughts, it means it's good. This is good news, okay? So 10 years ago, when I very first found Carnivore, I did actually lose lots of weight in one go. I did do a video on why I quit. I'm not going to talk about it now because it's too depressing. But at the point, I genuinely thought it was going to be forever. I was starting to look quite slim. And I was so excited by the whole thing that I went out and I bought myself a tight-fitting dress in my start size, and then another tight-fitting dress in exactly the same style and colour in my goal size. Sadly, those dresses have been long since lost because that was a long time ago now. It makes me feel sad because at the time I was absolutely adamant. But at the time, my life really wasn't conducive. I wasn't getting any sleep. My second son didn't sleep. I was tired all the time. I'm not going to go into why I quit because it's too depressing. We're saying positive in this video. Positive, okay? But yesterday, I thought, wow, I am feeling so strong. I might go out and have a look in the sales and see if there are any very, very cheap, nasty, but tight-fitting dresses. One in the size I am now and one in the size I want to be on my 50th birthday in 461 days time. And so because I haven't really got time to go to the shops this week, I did actually order it online. Should really be going in the shop spending cash, I know. That's what I tend to do, but I did order it online. I found this sexy little tight-fitting dress, and one in the biggest size they've got and one in the tiniest size they've got. You're going to think I'm crazy, but if I'm having thoughts like this, it's a good thing. It means that I'm actually feeling really strong and really resigned and really determined. I want to find a different word though. If you can think of a different word that's better than those words, please pop it in the comments below, because I don't feel any of those words are strong enough for how I'm feeling right now. Willpower is not the word. Resignation, that sounds a bit negative. Determined, you can be determined on day 1, can't you? And then quit on day 5. You get to day 72 and suddenly you've got a different one. If you can think of a word that is how I feel, that's stronger than determined and resigned, and pop it in the comments. Back to the dresses. I won't put a picture in here, but at the weekend, when the dresses have turned up, I am going to get my eldest son to take a picture of me on all sides in this tight-fitting, biggest dress. Those photos are then going to be put away in storage. I have a bank of photos put away in storage, which are my before photos. There's some horrible photos in there, but I think, you know, people that are just starting on a journey don't really like, we hide from the camera, don't we? If there's a group photo, we're the one standing behind everybody else. We're the one breathing in, not wanting to be in the picture. We're the one deleting the picture off the phone afterwards because we look so hateful. That was the old me. The new me is thinking, let's keep these photos. Let's put them away. I don't want to see them every day. Let's put them away in a special place and hide them, because one day I'm going to be successful. I always knew it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. One day I will be carnivore successful. I absolutely believe it's this time, and I have no reason to believe it won't be. But up until now, I always knew I was going to be. It was just when. And when I've lost all the weight I want to lose, I will then take the photo of myself in the tiniest dress, and then there will be a side-by-side match. Some people will say, is that photoshopped? Has she photoshopped that? No, there will not be photoshopping. The first one will be in the biggest size and the second one will be in the smallest size. It just happens to be the same style of dress. And that will be my thumbnail. And the title will be, what a difference 17 months makes to a middle-aged has-been in the UK who just dreams of just one day being slim. So that's that. That's going to be a 20-minute video. So I really didn't think I was going to go on that long. I just have all these random thoughts, and everything I've thought about in the last 24 hours has been mega positive. Another really good night's sleep last night. I did, it was 8 hours last night. Lovely. I don't know whether that's going to get less the more fat adapted I get. I did 9:30 to 5:30. Really happy. I seem to be very in touch with my circadian rhythm. The more I try to go to bed when it gets dark, and the more I try to get up when it's getting light, the more I'm doing it. I feel like a bit like a chicken. You know, I'm gonna go and roost. I'm gonna go and roost now because it's dark. So yeah, this chicken is now going to go and do a big long session in a nursery with cloud and some potential rain. Don't move to the UK. If you need an epiphany, pop in the shower. If you've got any meat, eat it. If you've got any water, drink it. And do whatever it takes to keep you healthy and happy and thriving. I will see you on Thursday for my day 74 video. Unless, of course, I suddenly think of something, but it might be a short or something tomorrow. But I really don't have the time tomorrow to do video. It's just not going to happen. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, and I'll see you in a couple of days' time. Love you all. Bye.